Wonderful! Another edition of the Breakdown in Squared Circles. Yes!
Episode 8.
You happen to remember the episode.
I did happen to remember the episode.
That ain't right. You're supposed
It's
to...
only because you messed up the episode 2 episodes ago, so now I remember what episode we're on.
Well, at least I'm the reason you're up to date. So...
Yep.
I'm doing good for myself. I'll pat myself on the back. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, it is episode 8 of the Squared Circle Breakdown. And we've got a lot of shit to talk about. We got a pay-per-view to review, right, guys?
Yeah, we do.
No, you're supposed to go, yes!
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah!
But before we...
Wonderful!
But before we get to that, we've got some interesting news. Baron Corbin cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase and lost! Are you not sports entertained?
I am sports entertained.
I've got a rant, but I'm going to let you guys go first.
I think it's stupid, clearly. I mean, I think it's a waste. I think it makes it look like they were like, we don't really want anybody to win Money in the Bank, but we still want to have the match and the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Granted, you still have the women's Money in the Bank briefcase running around.
Yeah, but I gotta say, this threw a wrench in my plans for what's gonna be happening on Sunday. So I'm not sure what the hell's going on with all this.
Is that all?
Yes, do your rant.
Go for it. It's all you.
So, I don't know how many Facebook group pages that you guys are on. I'm on quite a bit.
I'm on 2.
Wrestling-related pages. And I'm not talking about Smart Marks because I think that's your own page that you guys created on your own. I'm talking about a page that somebody else created that you just happen to inhabit.
Correct.
Okay. Here's my rant. So some of these people are going around saying that this is comparable to the Damien Sandow loss. Now, there is no fucking comparison, and I'm going to explain why. Now, for those of you who do not know what happened, I will explain the Damien Sandow one in a bit, but let me explain what happened to the Baron Corbin one. Baron Corbin comes out right before John Cena pins Jinder Mahal after he hit an AA off of the turnbuckle. I still call it the FU, fuck it. Now, Baron Corbin has attacked both men. He leaves. He turns around, realizes he has an opportunity. He runs back in, cashes in his Money in the Bank. They're checking up on Jinder. Jinder's getting his ass back up. But meanwhile, John Cena's on the outside. He's getting up. As the bell rings, John Cena's climbing up on the ropes, and Baron Corbin hits John Cena, to which Jinder Mahal rolls him up for a 3 count. That's how he lost the briefcase. Okay? Now, everybody's up in arms, and yeah, maybe Baron Corbin's got a lot of heat, but this is nowhere comparable to the Sandow one. Why? Well, for 2 reasons. Number 1 is that Damien Sandow has a better grasp of his character than Baron Corbin does. Baron Corbin comes off as one of the most artificial WWE superstars to date. And when I say artificial, I mean every promo he has ever cut, every promo he's ever done does not seem authentic. He seems like he is clearly reading off of a script, and he has no facial expressions whatsoever. He follows the Kristen Stewart logic of facial expressions. So, that's the first thing. The second thing is that at least if WWE, because the rumor is he's got heat, if WWE just 24 hours later decides, you know what, let's let bygones be bygones, they could just let that slide. Because the Sunday, Baron Corbin's got a match with John Cena. And that could all be rectified by him using John Cena being a distraction as an excuse for why he destroys John Cena in this match. But with the Damien Sandow one, let me refresh your memory, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't happen to remember how he lost that one. He came in, he beat up on John Cena's arm, then he cashed in the Money in the Bank. They had this match constantly beating on John Cena's injured arm, hit his finisher twice, got kicked out of both, got hit with one finisher, and was pinned 1, 2, 3. So as you see, one could be considered a fluke, the other is considered a geek who thought that he had an advantage when clearly he had no chance in hell because his finisher's too damn weak, or he hits it too damn weak. Damien Sandow, from what I understand from people who saw that match, were like, oh my god, it was a great match, oh, it did more for him than him winning the title. Bullshit. And I knew it was bullshit, because what did Damien Sandow do after that? He imitated wrestlers, he imitated basketball players, he imitated astronauts, and then he became Miz's sidekick. Which was funny, but it had a short shelf life. So, ladies and gentlemen.
Hang on. Not sidekick. Stunt double.
Fuck! Whatever! It doesn't matter. The point is, he became a loser afterwards. He became a geek. He became a nobody. So, at least with this, if WWE wants to bury the hatchet with Baron Corbin with the heat, then they can do that. Because at the end of the day, it's considered a fluke, and Baron Corbin can still become this big entity that they wanted him to be before he got the heat. Sandow, it's not comparable, okay? It's not. There was nothing to do with Sandow afterwards. You couldn't rebuild Sandow after that. Who was going to take him seriously? So, if Baron Corbin is in the doghouse, fuck it! I don't know what happened. I don't know why he got the reputation that he has now. The point is, Baron Corbin losing was probably better for him in the long run in my eyes, because the guy still can't seem to find a charismatic bone in his body. Him nor the face on his goddamn chest. They both lack charisma. So, with that, I'm done.
That was a pretty good rant.
Yep, good rant, my friend. Good rant.
No,
Proud of you.
It was wonderful, yes. Just like the pay-per-view we're about to review. Yeah.
That's not a word I would use to describe this pay-per-view.
Oh, it was great because Vince McMahon told me it was.
I would like to also say that this is all Guapo's fault.
I did it randomly, okay? It's not my fault.
Still all your fault.
How is it my fault? Please, explain.
Because you could have just picked a pay-per-view, but instead you did this random thing, and then we ended up with this.
Hey, Guapo.
We ended up with WWE SmackDown Presents No Way Out 2005.
Hey, Guapo, I just want to say I thank you so much for this very entertaining show that put a smile on my face. It was
this show hurt.
like every match that I watched that would make somebody go, what the fuck? I got a call from WWE headquarters saying you like it and enjoy it. And from that point, I just loved every second of it.
Lord help us.
Who wants to start?
I'll do it. First match of the night, if I have my notes correct, was Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio versus the Basham brothers for the tag team titles.
Yep, Danny and Doug Basham.
Now,
who I could not tell apart.
there were...
I think that was the point. They did do a lot of twin magic.
Yes, and there were 3 notes that I put down here in this match that happened that I thought were quite rememberable. Mm-hmm. Not like the rest of the matches on the night, but this had a couple spots that were memorable.
It was actually a pretty good match all the way around.
But these 3 spots just define not just this match, but the whole pay-per-view. So there's at one point in the match when Rey Mysterio hits the Bulldog, and after he hits the Bulldog, Michael Cole screams, DDT! I thought it was fan-fucking... It was awesome. Okay. Now,
I like to point out Taz's excellent commentary through this entire show.
See, I'm going to have to debate that because at one point in the commentary, this is my second note, Taz couldn't seem to remember what the pot called the kettle. He was literally like, yeah, what did the pot call the kettle again? I don't remember.
The man has suffered concussions. It happens, okay?
It could be that. But then there was a third spot that I swear to God, I fucking pissed myself laughing. There's one point in the match where Doug Basham is laying on the ground, and Eddie Guerrero.
Oh my God! I think I wrote down
I
this
know
exact
exactly
same
what
Eddie
spot.
Guerrero kicks him in the leg, and Doug Basham proceeds to grab his ass. Maybe I'm not I know I'm not a doctor or a physician or anything like that. But when somebody kicks me in the leg, I don't proceed to grab a completely random part of my body. I proceed to grab the part that I got kicked in, okay? I mean, if I get kicked in the stomach, I'm not going to grab my eyeballs. I mean, I know it hurts in the eyes to see that somebody kicked me in the stomach. But I'm just saying my ass is going to be protected from my hands. Just saying. It was awesome.
I'm laughing at that. And DDT.
DDT. I from now on, if I ever watch a pay-per-view with a group of friends, every time I see somebody do a bulldog, I'm going to scream that. DDT! It was fucking awesome.
I don't know if you guys remember this spot either, but there's another spot where Eddie Guerrero is laying in the middle of the ring, and one of the Bashams goes into the corner, climbs to the top rope, and clearly Eddie Guerrero is way too far away to do the move, but he just does the move anyway onto nothing. Not even looking like he's going to hit Eddie at all, and then the commentators yell, "Oh," and he dodges out of the way. No, he doesn't. Nobody moved. And he's still laying in the middle of the ring.
I do want to say one positive thing about the match.
Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, God.
Yes, Eddie Guerrero, but the hot tag that Ray got on Eddie, that little sequence of dodging the Bashams and then getting Eddie into the ring, I thought was great.
It was great. And then, he wins it. They win in Eddie fashion where he tries to steal the titles. Ray convinces him
Ray's
not
like,
to.
no, don't do it, man.
No, but there's one part, I think, when Eddie Guerrero has the belt, and the ref takes it away, and he's about to throw it back, and Doug Basham, or one of the Bashams, proceeds to go underneath Eddie instead of attacking him at the end. Which is what caused this clusterfuck of an ending, where Rey Mysterio threw the belt at him, where he got another belt and whacked him in the face and fucking played possum. It was weird.
Yeah.
But it was a good match. I would say it was the second best match of the night.
I would say it's the best match of the night.
Just because Doug Basham grabbed his ass. It was fucking awesome.
Second best, yeah.
I just like Eddie Guerrero's antics.
I do too. Side note, I remembered Eddie being a lot better speaking. I was wrong.
Well, we'll get to that, and I actually liked the promo, but anyways. We then had a segment where Teddy Long was preparing this back room for Batista, because...
This is the time when Batista won the Royal Rumble, and so he could be on either show.
He was trying to figure out which champion he wanted to challenge.
He's still in Evolution at this point.
Right. It was him, Triple H, and Ric Flair, and I think it was this point where Triple H was persuading him to go after JBL. So he was still deciding on that. They did a couple of angles with Batista and JBL where Batista beat the shit out of his limo, and Teddy Long basically made this room for Batista so that he could get to a decision. But Carlito seems to enter the room, and I don't remember much about this promo, except that Carlito says, and I have it in quotes right here, Carlito goes to him and says, "Yeah, chisel and all that fizzle stuff." He says it just like that.
Yes, that's true. He does say that.
Yeah, this is what made me love Carlito for a long time. Like, if Carlito would have made it bigger in this company, he definitely would have been on my top 10. Because at one time I was a huge Carlito mark.
I can tell you Carlito's on that list of wrestlers who I really want to come back to WWE. Because right now, with the group of people that they have, Carlito would probably thrive.
Right. And Carlito, I think everybody's been saying this, if you want Primo and Epico to ever have a real job in the company and to
Didn't one of them
actually be
just get
employed.
released?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just got released.
Did
Okay.
they? Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought they got released 7 years ago. And they
It's true. They've just been hanging out.
That ain't right. So, yes. If they wanted them to get over, this was the guy. This was the guy that had to carry them. But, regardless.
What is after that? Because my notes are a little hazy.
Okay, so Tori Wilson and Dawn Marie come out.
Oh my god, I was hoping you wouldn't say this. Can I have a big rant now?
Well, before you get to that rant, I just want to make one note that's just a little odd. Why are Tori Wilson and Dawn Marie working together when just 2 years prior, Dawn Marie was responsible for Tori Wilson's father's death because she fucked him too hard? And I'm being serious. Fucked him too hard.
That was the story.
Yes.
That makes sense.
She was such a good fuck for her father that he had a heart attack and died.
Yep.
And keep in mind, the storyline was that Dawn Marie was purposely trying to get under Tori Wilson's skin by sleeping with her father. Just saying. Anyways.
Yes, I don't remember any of that shit.
Well, I remember it because it's fucking imprinted in my brain, and quite frankly, that's probably why I'm cynically fucking insane. Anyways, your rant. I need to hear this.
Well, it's a rant about this whole, because there are 3 segments of this throughout the whole night.
Oh, we're covering all of them. I'm gonna cover all of them.
Well, then I'll do a specific little mini rant about this specific segment where they come out in evening dresses, and whatever. This was the era of that. But they're coming down the ring, and on your screen you have this box that has their name. It has what town they're from. It has, what they used to do. Like this one was a model and a gymnast. But the first thing that's on there are their goddamn measurements. It's
Your
like
point?
a step below like the Miss America pageant. It's so... Oh my god, I'm so glad women's wrestling isn't this anymore. It's so awful.
We're bringing back the divas.
I have a much bigger rant about this later.
Okay. But regardless, I do think it's quite sexist that they just want to go with women's wrestlers and not divas, like divas that have now got to be excluded. We need to include horrible women models as wrestlers as well. Come on. So in this evening gown match, you had Joy Giovanni, Rochelle Lowen, Lauren Jones, and Michelle Calloway, also known as Mrs. Taker, also known as Michelle McCool. And the whole thing around this was that they were going to do a big poll of who you thought was the most beautiful. One little side note, I have to say Joy Giovanni was fucking stunning at this time. I don't know what she looks like now, but goddamn, she was stunning.
Still pretty hot.
Oh,
is she the one in the pink outfit?
She's the one that
most
won
of the time.
She's the one that won this contest.
Okay, I have a rant when we get to the second segment. If I'm not going to get to rant about it all at once.
You can if you want. I don't give a fuck. But
Nope. I'm going to point out each individual awfulness in each segment if we're going to talk about each segment.
Well, I want to talk about each segment. I don't know about Guapo.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay.
I just want to die
Nothing
a little
shall be
inside.
deleted.
Anyways.
I just, want to die a little inside.
Here comes the next match. This was super awesome. Heidenreich versus Booker T. And
who and what?
This guy, this feud started because one had the audacity to laugh at the other for losing. Wow.
That sounds right.
It's great. It started off with an awesome Heiden. This was at the time when Heidenreich would grab Michael Cole in the back and look like he's ass raping him while he's reading a poem.
I was about to say, is this the dude that was reading poetry?
No,
I'm like, okay.
But what made Heidenreich so awesome?
I have a note on this where I wrote down Elias Sampson version 1.
Oh, no. This goes far beyond. This was so out there. that at one point him and Snitsky met up backstage. This was when Snitsky had that storyline with Lita, where he accidentally killed her baby. So they meet up backstage.
It wasn't my fault.
No. This is what he said, or this is what they said to each other. Snitsky goes, "I like your poems." And Heidenreich just looks at him and goes, "I like you killing fetuses."
Oh my God, the fucking disaster
But what
pieces.
made it so funny was that they're looking at each other going, "I like your poems." Fucking fantastic. This was WWE in 2005, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
I
God,
can't.
right.
So, there was very little heat for this match. I don't even remember what the hell happened, except for the end where Heidenreich loses his shit. They're on the outside. He grabs a chair and proceeds to smash Booker T in the gut.
In the throat.
Or in the
They
throat.
say, the commentators say in the throat. So if it was in the gut, that's even better.
Oh, yeah. Like no, Michael Cole should just scream DDT! It would have made it so much better. So, after he proceeds to hit him with the chair, the referee obviously saw it and said DQ. So then Heidenreich throws Booker T back in the ring and pins him, thinking that the match is still going. And the ref's like, no. It's over.
DQ.
Oh. Then Heidenreich lost his shit and walked away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a
basically.
weird match.
Very bad match with no heat. Booker T tried his ass off. But he just couldn't do it. Heidenreich was still too green.
Some things cannot be.
If Undertaker couldn't get Heidenreich over, Booker T definitely can't.
No. Fucking Animal if the Road Warriors couldn't get him over.
That slightly worked, but it died off very quickly.
Very quickly. So, in other words, to all of you young kiddies who have a problem with Baron Corbin getting pushed, this is what we endured. Heidenreich reading poems.
Not me.
And
This was 2 years before me.
The funny part is, I went and looked up Heidenreich on Wikipedia because I was just like, hey, what he's doing now. Reading his shit, he played for a lot of fucking teams for NFL and the CFL and all that shit. He was actually on the fucking one of the Super Bowl teams for Washington Redskins.
It doesn't surprise me.
Wow.
Because
Right?
WWE likes to pick up football players. Baron Corbin, The Rock, Goldberg.
Did he do that before or after
Yes,
WWE?
before WWE.
Because at this point he was like 30-something, and that's not a good time to start football.
Yeah.
So
That's not a good time to start wrestling.
well,
Unless
It's not a good time to start
unless your name is Diamond Dallas Page.
well, that's what I was about to say. Diamond Dallas Page Santino Marella started at 28. Just saying.
I think DDP started at 40.
Well, to be fair, DDP was a manager prior to that, and then he became a wrestler. So, yes. After this, we had a segment. We had Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Scotty 2 Hotty, Sparky Plug Holly, Charlie Haas, and John Cena backstage. Everybody leaves with the exception of Eddie and Cena. And Eddie cuts this real passionate promo to Cena about how he basically has to bust his ass because a lot of people are going to want to see him fail. It was just the typical trying to inspire the guy promo. And I thought, I don't know what Guapo thinks. He said he questioned his skills. I thought this was a really great promo because it was very passionate. It was from the heart. And this is why I looked at it.
I agree. It was just, I don't know. I remember Eddie being able to gather his words much more
Cohesively.
correct.
Oh, he would. It's just watch his work with Rey Mysterio later that year.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, because I strictly remember that entire thing with the I'm Your Poppy segments and all that stuff.
Well, here's the thing. You also got to remember one thing. First off, the promo came off authentic with him trying to gather his words. Secondly, he just wrestled a match or two ago.
And won the tag titles.
So obviously he's a little flabbergasted that he just won the titles with his best friend, Rey Mysterio, at that time. So I thought the promo came off very authentic. It didn't come off like a scripted promo, but then again, Eddie's was always awesome, so.
I agree. I thought it was a good promo. I mean, every promo needs that, especially when a new guy is about to face somebody like, at the time, Kurt Angle, and, just a little pep talk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Be like,
especially
you got this, dude. You got this. I know
you
you're
gotta
new.
think this. Well, and at this point in 2005, Cena wasn't new, really. He had been into business for about a year or so by then.
No, this is 2005, so he debuted in 2002.
Yeah.
So 3 years.
But he's only won one major title at this point. He's
Correct.
only won.
Right.
He's only won the United States title, and he won it at WrestleMania. He's
Correct.
still doing
Against the Big Show.
He's still doing the Dr. Thugonomics thing.
Which I watched a little bit more of. I had found the episode that was my first ever SmackDown, well, first ever live show. I started watching. I was like, holy shit! I remember why I liked John Cena.
Yeah, I was a huge fan of John Cena. One time, I'd go around doing the whole John Cena rap that he had for his theme song. I would go around.
The basic thugonomics.
Oh yeah, I was a huge John Cena
So.
fan.
Do you guys not like John Cena afterwards because he was shoved down your throat, or because it just got stale?
Well, all right. Let me explain myself. I started hating him in 2006 because I was 17 years old and it became a cool thing to do. I stopped hating him around 07 when he got hurt, because the first thing I noticed when he got hurt, remember when he had that injury on his shoulder and he was going to be out for 7 months and he came back to the World Rumble? Everybody was celebrating. And I just remember the first thing coming to my mind was, why is that something to cheer for?
Yeah, that's messed up.
Why would you want to cheer for a guy that got hurt and now can't make money because he has to stay on the show for a while, regardless who it is? And that's when I was my hate for Cena. More of my dislike for Cena has nothing to do with Cena himself. Here's what I'm going to say. Everybody keeps saying Cena's a bad wrestler. Well, for a bad wrestler, he has a plethora of great matches under his belt. Okay? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying he's Shawn Michaels. He's not. He's like Randy Orton. He needs the right opponent to carry him. But Cena just has a better luxury of getting good opponents. So.
John Cena has the very good skill, maybe. I
working
don't
with
know
a lot of different people.
Well, no, he tends to almost rise to the occasion of whoever he's facing. So a lot of the time, if who he's facing is good, he's good. But so he can rise to that level, but he can't bring somebody to that level. Does that make any sense?
No,
so if somebody else is not good, he's not going to elevate them. Whereas John Cena can elevate himself with the help of somebody who's also good.
I'll say this. The reason my criticism of Cena was his booking. It was just he lost the Doctor of Thugonomics gimmick, which I guess was a detriment, and then he became the poster boy for the PG era. But it was also because it just felt like most situations, the only way to ever put this guy down was to put a goddamn bullet in his head, and even then he would still kick out at 2. It seemed like there were many times where they could have sacrificed John Cena to help elevate a guy, and they just would constantly destroy. It was like when Dean Ambrose's podcast, when he was talking with, or not Dean Ambrose, but Jericho's podcast with Dean Ambrose, where they wanted John Cena to beat the Shield with Ryback and Sheamus, and all three of them said, no, we're not going to do it, because if you beat us, we're going to be like everybody else that has lost to John Cena, which is true. Whenever you lose to John Cena, you end up down below. Mm-hmm. And it's true. I mean, even with the likes of Kevin Owens, who beat him once, he lost to him twice, and then he had to go down a bit before he got risen back up. It's that montage of trying to make Cena too Superman-like. It's sometimes you don't have to make a guy so goddamn invincible. I mean, yes, he should be winning a lot, but it doesn't have to be over-excessive to the point where it's like, it's to a point when you watch a match and he wins, you're just like, whatever, I don't even give a fuck anymore.
I gotta say, whenever I was
That's
watching
not the case
Cena,
now, by the way. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Whenever he was doing his basic Dr. Thugonomics, all that stuff, I was really enjoying it just because being a 10 to 12-year-old kid watching John Cena, a white dude, rap and wrestle, and I thought it was funny and it was enjoyable. Then, as I got older, I noticed Cena getting more pushes, And I started resenting the fact that, oh shit, I have to sit through Randy Orton and John Cena again. Oh look, a headlock. Oh look, another headlock. Wait,
The
this is
era of Randy Orton versus John Cena.
Wait. Is that a dream match for next year's WrestleMania?
I'm kind of waiting for them to have one last match, and we can call it the end of an era.
Look. I'm hearing Vince McMahon right now orgasming at the idea. WrestleMania 34, New Orleans. We were supposed to have Randy Orton versus Batista. Well, Batista's a movie star, so we'll just use John Cena. Oh. It's John
So anyway,
Cena. Okay, go ahead.
As I got older, I started not liking John Cena, just not liking him like as a wrestler, because he is a good wrestler. I can't say he's bad, but it gets stale when that's the only person that you're seeing on your TV every single night. However, with that being said, I have to say within this past, I want to say maybe 2 years, I've really started to like Cena again, especially this like last year or so that he's been back. Just because
I agree.
He knows his time in the spotlight of being the number one person for the company and the number one like drawing talent is pretty much gone. So he knows he's moving more into the mentorship type role, and this role that he's going to be showing these guys who are picking up the quote unquote reins of the company.
I see what you did there.
That what they need to do to succeed, like how he succeeded, but he also knows, hey, I'm not done, so let me do this, let me do that. I'm going to put this guy over, or I'm going to bury this dude because, hey, this dude's shit, or, hey, this dude needs to get buried to be put down back to his place and let him build himself back up again. So I'm really enjoying everything Cena is doing right now.
Yeah,
so.
Plus it's more along the lines of you don't know what you have until you lose it. And
yeah.
Ever since Hell in a Cell 2015, he hasn't really been a full-time guy. When he lost the U.S. title to Del Rio, he came back for a short period, got hurt, had to miss WrestleMania, came back to feud with Styles, then he went away for a bit, then he feuded with Styles again, and I think he went away with it again, won the title, did the feud up to WrestleMania with Miz, went away for a bit, now he's back. So it's like, okay, works for me.
I'm still wondering.
It's not being shoved down your throat. Like there's more variety than just him every night.
Right.
It's more variety than just him facing Randy Orton.
Well,
it's
and
more
also
variety than him versus Triple H or whatever.
He's also on SmackDown, which gives him a fresh, unique look that he's not on the A show. So that helps. But with that said, we have another match coming up. This is
Cruiserweight title.
All right, hold up. Before we get to this, ladies and gentlemen, you think the problem with the Cruiserweight division today is a new thing? No, because back in 2005, the same thing happened. Because here we have Paul London versus Chavo Guerrero versus Shannon Moore versus Spike Dudley, who conveniently is wearing a Tom Brady jersey to the ring.
In Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh, yes. Versus Akio, who everybody will know better as Jimmy Wang Yang.
Which is awesome.
And they are facing the current, at this point, Cruiserweight champion, number one announcer, Funaki. Now, before we get to this match, I just want to point out one tidbit that me and my best friend Anthony have said. When they first started showing the announcers on the WWE Network, like the Japanese announcers, the Chinese announcers showing that they're worldwide, when Funaki first got onto the commentary table, him and Yamaguchi-san, or whoever the hell it was, they're talking, and if they turn to Funaki and he goes, yeah, Funaki, and he was going to say number one announcer, but as soon as he got to number, and he was about to say one, they cut him off. And ever since then, he has not tried to say that. I am pissed off
terrible.
Because this was the best thing of SmackDown.
Yep.
Me and Anthony came up with a fantasy booking thing. Oh, here's your fantasy booking thing for the week. Funaki wins every single title in the company, including the women's title. He literally has to come out with that music that he used to come out with all the belts around him. He literally has to be dragging 2 titles on his feet walking to the ring. I am not going to stop until this happens. I don't care if Funaki has to come out of retirement. It has to happen.
There are a lot of letters in Vince McMahon's mailbox from Monoxide with this
Quick little side note. As you said, started showing different announcers. The Spanish announce team has not changed or hasn't aged since 2005.
Nor has their table breakings. But yes, anyway.
I assume that the table absorbs all of their, aging, and every time that's why it breaks so easily.
That's why Spanish people, we don't age.
I'm just saying, they're putting all of their years that they would have aged into the table, and that's why the table breaks so easily. Like in every pay-per-view.
Well, in this pay-per-view, these 6 gentlemen had a match with, could you guess it? No heat! None whatsoever! Funaki.
Nope, it was just a bunch of dudes wrestling.
Funaki got eliminated first. The Cruiserweight Champion got eliminated first. No heat. Now, I don't remember what... I know Funaki got eliminated first. Then, I believe Spike Dudley got eliminated.
Yes, it was Funaki versus Paul London first.
Paul London lasted through the whole thing.
Sorry. Funaki was pinned by Paul London. Spike Dudley came in next, pinned by Paul London. Then I believe it was Shannon Moore, pinned by Paul London. Then Akio, pinned by Paul London. And then Chavo pins Paul London.
Well, the only thing I remember out of this match was up until, because the Spike Dudley thing was not really memorable. He was just playing his heel role at that time. Shannon Moore, this was before his ECW run, so he wasn't really doing nothing.
Also before his TNA run.
Yes. Akio, at one point, is dancing like Shane McMahon. I'm wondering if, Shane McMahon just happened to get, 2 pieces of tape and slant his eyes to make himself look like an Asian. And then ran into the ring and did a match under the guise of Akio. I'm wondering. I kid, okay? I know the SJWs are gonna go after me because I am being, what do they call it now when I insult somebody else's culture or somebody else's race?
Culturally insensitive.
Culturally insensitive. I thought it was xenophobic, but I think it's when you're afraid of cultures. Who the fuck cares? It's so many. I'm the whole basket of deplorables, okay? I'm an asshole, dick, and fucking prick at the same time. Anyways, that's what I think. Later on, it's Paul London and Chavo, and at one point, Paul London literally does, the hulking up, he's, beating his chest. No fucking heat whatsoever.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Nobody cares, and it's unfortunate, because Paul London was way better than how WWE treated him. But Chavo won by holding the ropes with a roll-up. He became the Cruiserweight Champion.
And nobody cared.
And nobody cared.
Can we quickly talk about how awesome Paul London looked for this entire match?
He looked pretty
it was a good match.
It was.
Paul. Nobody cared.
Except that
nobody cared. You're right. You got me there. Nobody cared.
Not
one
God. Cared. And somebody's dying.
The puppy broke into my room.
Wow.
Literally.
Sounded like somebody was coming in to murder you. Okay, then.
All right. We're going to have a murder on our podcast. Wonderful. It's going to be like...
Yeah.
Yes. Or, no, wait. She is about to be deleted from this podcast. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. We follow up with another Rookie Diva contest. Keep in mind, this is a...
Oh, no. I came back for this. Contest. Now I wish the puppy had murdered me.
That's okay, because when you die and you're about to ascend to heaven, instead of 71 virgins, you're going to get 71 divas. How do you
is this the talent show portion?
Yes, actually it is.
Yes, it is.
Quote, talent show.
Yes, and this is what I have here.
Fine, do yours.
I'm just gonna read what happened. So they asked for their talents. Joy Giovanni massages Tori Wilson, and then
Her legs.
and Dawn Marie just proceeds to just like berate her, saying I could do a better job. Rochelle,
You forget the part where she takes off her top.
Oh yeah,
and then like.
Thank God Jerry Lawler was not on commentary
Oh,
for this.
I wanted Jerry Lawler.
Shows everyone her underwear.
Puppies!
Like it was minus the music, the beginning of a porno.
Oh, it was perfect. So then
Pretty much everything from about 2005 back to about 1998 in WWE's women's division was basically a porno.
I loved it. And
A clothed porno with no actual sex happening.
So then
not until Edge and Lita came.
Followed up with that, Rochelle pandering to Pittsburgh. He's like, "Hello, Pittsburgh!
Nobody cares.
I'm gonna tell you a joke. Do you want to know?
I couldn't make it through this segment, guys. I had to fast forward. It hurt my soul. I literally put, I fucking can't. This hurts my soul.
How do you
had
make
to
a
skip.
tissue dance? Put a little boogie into it. Yeah! Oh, it was so awesome. This joke, I was laughing out loud in awe, in pity. It was great. It was fantastic. And then Dawn Marie, like, she was about to say a second joke, and even Dawn Marie was like, I had enough of this. You go back there. Lauren, she's dancing. That was her
Did
talent.
a very, very bad stripping dance.
I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, it wasn't like cheerleader level. And then the last but not least, Michelle Taker gets pissed off at Dawn Marie and power slams her. I was pissed she didn't give her a tombstone.
Michelle Calloway.
I wanted to see her do a tombstone or something. I know this was before her
Way
Taker,
before.
But it would have been awesome to see a tombstone.
Can we also note how hot Michelle McCool was, even when she was that young?
She was hot around this time, but I think she lost her looks about 2-3 years later, in my opinion.
I don't know. I always thought Michelle McCool was really pretty. So.
Well, pretty. Maybe.
Then again, I have a thing for blondes.
Oh, is that it? Anyways.
I mean, my future wife is Alexa Bliss, so.
So, this segment was fucking awesome. Let me tell you. I think that this accentuated the female body. I think that it showed girl power to not be afraid to flaunt their bodies, no matter how fat or skinny you are. I think this was such a progressive segment. It's perfect.
Can I do my rant now? It's actually not even a rant.
Okay, you may not do your rant. We'll go on to the next segment.
No, I'm doing this.
Go right ahead.
I don't know who I'm more insulted for. I don't know if I'm more insulted for women who watched WWE around this time because, this is what you had to identify with, was this. Or if I'm more insulted for the guys in the crowd, because clearly this is a segment where we're like, well, we want them to stay engaged, but it's ladies, so clearly they can't find anything in common with these ladies other than tits and ass. So essentially they just throw that out to all the guys and they're like, it doesn't need any substance, it's fine. This will hold their attention.
It held mine.
The Joy Giovanni, that's when I had to stop. The Joy Giovanni thing, I'm like, this is sad. This is really sad. It's like pandering on a level that's like, I would almost say exploitative. Like, it is so bad. Like, when I say it hurt my soul, like, I'm not joking. Like, I'm like, this is so sad that this is what these girls, I don't know if this was what they decided they wanted to do, or if, God forbid, some road agent in the back is like, so here's what you're going to do. You're going to take your top off, and then Tori Wilson's going to lay down, and you're going to show the camera your underwear and rub her legs.
Oh.
Like, that's something on the level that if that happened on, say, an episode of Undercover Boss, like on a network like TV show, people would lose their mind angry. It's just sad. It's just sad to me. Michelle McCool had the only, like, actually interesting part because you have Dawn Marie, like, screaming at them. She's wearing, like, what I feel like is a napkin. Now, if she wants to, that's cool. But I feel like maybe she forgot an outfit and found a yellow skirt and a yellow napkin, and that's what she decided to wear. And then you have Michelle McCool, who is the only one with a spine that decides, I'm not going to take this, and actually does, a wrestling move on her.
Yes.
I have a feeling that Kristen was not sports entertained by this.
I was
I don't
not.
think she was either.
I was sports disgusted.
I'm just gonna
Like, I don't know that if I had seen, because I guess by the time I was watching, we'd entered, like, the PG era, and so we didn't have a lot of this. There were, like, lingerie pillow fights or whatever, but it wasn't like this. And
trust me,
I
they
feel
got
like
bad.
had I been watching this around this time, I don't know that I would still be watching wrestling.
If you think this is bad, I'm just saying they had Mae Young actually strip her top off on TV.
I'm just like, it's just sad. Like, it's just really sad to me. But, like, it makes me depressed. Let's just move on to something else.
Okay, well, there's not much to say in the next segment. JBL cuts a promo. It's pretty good. Just basically talking about his match for later tonight. Then
Every JBL segment I think of now, I think of WrestleMania 25 ending in, like,
20 seconds.
20 seconds now.
Yeah, so
It also makes me sad, but for a different reason.
So JBL cut a promo. It was pretty good, and like I said, not much to say. Roman's older brother Luther Reigns comes out with.
I thought that too.
Wait, hold on. Quick thing. JBL's promo. Was it just me, or did it look like he was literally looking directly at a cue card, reading from it?
He might
have been.
But here's the thing. I've seen wrestlers looking like they are reading through cue cards. JBL, at least with his voice, did a fantastic job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody. JBL's always been a good promo cutter, so that's always been the good thing about him. Luther, older brother of Roman Reigns, with Mark Jindrak, about to face The Undertaker. The thing is, though, is that for whatever reason, Mark Jindrak, I think somewhere along the way, snorted some cocaine before he came out, because he was acting really erratic, and it got to the point where the referee even just said, fuck that shit, I'm kicking his ass out. So, we had Luther Reigns versus The Undertaker. Now, there's two things I want to note here, before you guys review this match, if you have any thoughts. The first thing is, there's two things, like I said, and they're very funny. There's one part where Undertaker's beating the shit out of Luther Reigns. And the referee, I think they said it was Brian Hebner, which is Earl's son. He's trying to get Undertaker to stop. He's like, Taker, stop. And Taker just turned around and just started, like, stomping away towards Brian Hebner. And Brian fucking darted outside the ring. It was the funniest thing ever. But there's one point in this match which made me convinced that Luther is Roman's older brother. At one point, Luther has control of this match, and I shit you not, he screams, "This is my yard now!"
Oh, they did say that a lot. That phrase was thrown around in commentary a lot, too.
Exactly. So this was definitely Roman's older, unsuccessful brother. Although I can say that Luther Reigns did star in a movie called The Girl Next Door. He wasn't a star, but he was in the movie. And
okay.
that is not something that Roman could attribute himself to. As much as he is the big dog, he still does not have a movie selection at the moment.
This is true.
This match was pretty bad, by the way. It was very bad.
it was not good.
It was not good, but I loved it because Vince said I did. So
Exactly.
So I'm gonna call Vince right now and let him know. Listen, I will never defame your product anymore because you told me otherwise.
You know what watching these retro pay-per-views makes me realize is how old Undertaker looked near the end of his career.
Oh yeah, real old.
Because you don't see him for a long time, so it's almost like you don't, like, you notice it, but it's like really noticeable when you watch like this, and then you see like his more recent matches, and you're like, oh god.
Yeah.
He has a full head of black hair in this one.
Anything else about this match? It was really bad.
Is there really anything else about this match?
I just wish now that, looking back on it, Luther had a tactical vest. Maybe came out to Durner. Oh, maybe they have time. They can call him up. Okay, we're gonna get Roman over this way. You're gonna be his older brother. You have the same last
They
name.
bring Luther Reigns back.
See, we can't reunite Roman now with the Shield, so we're gonna create our own Shield.
Well, we have to think of, because we have the Roman Reigns song where during his music you yell Roman Reigns. So we have to do one. So you have to do one for Luther Reigns.
Luther Reigns, not as successful as Roman. Luther.
It's a little word.
Yes.
Basically.
Luther Reigns, he failed.
Guapo finally
Holy
uses his
cow,
soundboard.
Luther Reigns, he said, this is his yard now. I'm
Too wordy.
Too wordy. Okay. But to save us from my too wordy lyrics, we have the return of the Rookie Diva Contest.
Well, at least you can say they gave the Divas time on this pay-per-view.
Exactly. See, this is why I don't
They
understand why
had
you're complaining.
3 whole segments.
Why are you complaining? The women are getting
3 whole
3
awful segments.
These were not awful. These were empowering. This is a difference.
I don't think you know what that word means.
Listen, feminists have told me what it means, and I'm going to go by their definition, which means whatever they want it to mean at that point in time. Okay? Just saying.
I don't know. I feel like this was sad.
So,
This whole thing was sad.
Was this a bikini contest or lingerie contest or whatnot?
It was a bikini contest.
Because
That turned into a lingerie contest.
Which I am more okay with than the second thing, if I was going to rank them in awfulness.
Yeah, but here's the thing. At one point, Joy Giovanni pulled her bikini bottom down to show off her thong. So I don't know if the feminist movement wants to proclaim that she's too good looking, that she's not trying, they're not doing a good enough job of trying to bring fat women into this because the fat acceptance movement or whatever. Anyways, Joy Giovanni won this damn thing. What was the stop
Hooray!
there? I was sports entertained throughout this. This was probably the most culturally important part of this pay-per-view because it's what spawned, or what would further spawn, the Butterfly title. Perfect.
I thought you were going to say this was the beginning of the Divas Revolution. The Women's Revolution.
The Divas Revolution started, I would say, when Trish and Lita left. It was like, yeah, we finally got rid of those broads, now we can do our own thing. Yeah. Fuck yeah!
I just can't. I don't know. I mean, clearly WWE was marketing to men at that time, which, whatever. But, I mean, there had to be female fans. And were they okay?
And they had the guys to gawk over, just like we had the girls.
Yeah, but the guys aren't having a swimsuit contest. The guys aren't, like, massaging each other. The guys aren't.
Hold up. I remember Snitsky giving somebody giving Snitsky a back rub.
Oh, Tomko.
There it is.
And he said it was a kink. Oh, and whatchamacallit? Snitsky gave Goldust a foot massage. So, you cannot say that men haven't touched each other.
Well, no, clearly it's wrestling. I can't say men haven't touched each other in wrestling.
Keep in mind, Billy and Chuck.
Oh God, Billy and Chuck.
I'm just saying.
Let's just move on.
The next match.
I mean, we're making points, so.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not making good ones.
I don't know.
But
I think
they
they're
are
very
there.
valid. Yeah, they're there.
They are
valid.
there. They are there. They are not good ones though.
Hey, you haven't deflected them, so exactly. You just sit there, shut up with your little women's wrestling, respect to women. Why would you want to do that? Fuck you. Anyways, John Cena versus Kurt Angle. In my opinion, match of the night.
This was a really good match, but I mean, it's got Kurt Angle in it,
and it's got John Cena. Can't really complain about John Cena, but
again, this is one of those matches that I feel like John Cena rises to whatever level he needs to for his opponent.
Yeah, Kurt Angle and John had a good match. I really don't have much to say about it other than it was match of the night. That's it.
I was more sports entertained by Chavo and his antics, but
fair enough.
That doesn't mean this isn't good.
Yes.
But would you agree that there was less commentator error in this match?
I didn't pay attention because I was actually thoroughly enjoyed, and when matches are usually
DDT.
Yes, or grabbing your ass after you got kicked in the leg. It's almost like he took a page out of Owen Hart's book. He kicked his leg out of his leg.
For some reason, that just reminds me of what's it? Like those Botchamania videos, where I forget who it is. Somebody is like holding on to somebody's head and like pulls them over to the steel steps and like goes to throw them.
Oh,
throw their
Scott
head
Steiner
into the steel
and
step.
Christian.
And the guy doesn't shove. The guy's head just like he hits his own head into the steel step.
That's Christian doing that, and Scott Steiner was the one that was supposed to throw his head on, and Christian just fucking dove his head into it. Yeah, exactly. All right.
Side note, our friend MB is on one of those Botchamania videos.
Oh, nice.
He is. There's a part where it was when he was partnered up with Lucky O'Shea.
Okay.
And he was doing they were doing a big sister little brother kind of thing,
remember.
even though he's like huge and she was tiny.
I remember that.
And he goes to separate the middle rope for her so that she has more space to get through, and then she goes through the bottom rope instead. So he's holding the rope open, and she goes through different ropes, and all it says is, "Wrong ropes, dumbass."
That ain't right. That ain't right.
Sorry.
Anyways, before we get to the final match, I'd just like to say that throughout the whole night, Batista never arrived yet. They're like, we're waiting for the arrival of Batista. He still hasn't shown up.
What was he supposed to,
He was supposed to come over there. Teddy Long was supposed to negotiate with Batista to come to SmackDown. That was the whole gist of it. Because Teddy Long really wanted him on SmackDown. Anyways, we got the main event! The whole reason that you bought this pay-per-view for $39.95. Or $49.95, however much pay-per-views were in 2005, I don't remember. JBL defending the WWE Championship against Big Show in a barbed wire steel cage match. Now, the rules of this match are simple. There are only 3 ways to win. You can either A, pin your opponent, B, make your opponent submit, or C, try to escape the barbed wire steel cage. Now,
And am I mistaken, or is the barbed wire steel cage a regular steel cage, but with barbed wire on top of it?
That's exactly what it is, and what makes this even more crazy is the whole idea, oh my god, the barbed wire steel cage, oh my god, there's barbed wire on top. Well, you have 2 other options. You do know that, right? You can just pin the guy
You could just not deal with the barbed wire at all.
Exactly, but they always tried to hype this up. For some reason, when the match started, there was RVD chants. I don't know why. Maybe the fans, maybe somebody hopped in a DeLorean, went back in time that was at those Raw shows where we took over, and decided, you know what, I'm going to try it here in 2005. And he kind of has succeeded, but kind of didn't. Because, I mean, after all, they started chanting for something that had no correlation to this match whatsoever.
I think there was some sort of thing with RVD happening. Like, I think he was supposed to be on the pay-per-view. I think he got injured because they mentioned something about it in the tag match.
He got hurt the previous SmackDown or 2 SmackDowns beforehand or something like that.
He was supposed to be somewhat involved in the tag team match, I think.
Well,
I know that they talked about it in the tag team match.
Well, put it this way. We're not at the tag team match. We're in the title match, which has no correlation to RVD.
That's true.
So
all of these statements are accurate.
So for whatever reason, the fans just had it in their minds, we're going to chant RVD. There's one point, the cabinet came out to help, and then they were sent back to the locker room, which completely killed the heat of this match. There's one point where Big Show chokeslammed JBL through the ring, and I don't get this, because as he chokeslammed him, Big Show stalls like no tomorrow and then proceeds to try and leave the cage. Why didn't you just fucking pin him?
Because that was not what Vince wanted. Therefore, the logical answer is not the correct one.
I'm sports entertained by that. I'm just saying. So, at some
I
point,
am sports entertained.
He threw him off the cage, took forever to leave the ring, thought that he had this match won, but it was revealed that Big JBL crawled underneath the ring before Big Show could get out, so he retains his title. Now,
I guess nobody said you can't escape the cage through the bottom.
Now, here's where my mind just exploded, because this was so awesome on how it didn't make any sense. So, after the match, Big Show loses his shit. The cabinet comes out. They start beating up on him. The Bashams, Orlando Jordans, and JBL. So they're all ganging up on him. Now again, Batista was only supposed to come to negotiate with Teddy Long about coming to SmackDown. Well, we have 3 minutes left in the show. Batista finally appears, and he's in wrestling gear.
That's your hang-up on this?
My hang-up is, why are you in wrestling gear for a show you don't compete on, and you were only there to negotiate?
That's just how he walks around, man.
Because reasons.
Do you walk around in streets like that? Because
it would be even better if he came out in wrestling attire and like a tie.
No. He needed to come out.
Because he's negotiating.
Well, I'll tell you what.
It's his business wrestling attire.
If I see him and he's in wrestling attire, it better be fucking blue, so I could scream Blue Tista at him. Because I will do it. I'm not kidding.
This is a man that yelled Hosky right in Eva Marie's face.
Eve Torres.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Yes.
Same thing.
Afterwards, hey, hold on. One was a blue belt jiu-jitsu fighter. The other one...
That's true.
The other one is just a red-headed nappy... well, actually, no, she's the greatest women's wrestler of all time.
She is. She's the greatest women's wrestler who never wrestled.
Exactly. And then, to blow my mind even further, so JBL, after Batista's going crazy, JBL's walking to the back, or trying to leave, and John Cena comes out and unprovokingly attacks a broken JBL.
He's number one contender at this point.
I get it, but correct me if I'm wrong, but that just seems like a heel thing to do, to beat up on somebody that's already beat.
It is very heel-like.
I'm just saying. I'm sports entertained by the nonsensical behaviors of the booking committee here at WWE.
God, 2005, they just threw some stuff together. You know what happened? It was a very similar method to how we picked to watch this pay-per-view. There was just, somebody had like stuff written down on a page and they're spinning their finger in the air and somebody goes, stop, and lands on John Cena comes and interferes. Stop, Batista comes and interferes. Like, they just had all these possibilities written down. That's how we picked this pay-per-view, and I feel like that's how this pay-per-view was booked.
Yeah, a lot of mediocre matches, a lot of mediocre segments. Except the Diva ones. I thought they were fantastic.
The Diva ones were perfect.
Exactly. I would not change them for the world. In fact,
you're right. It just needs to come back.
Exactly.
I mean, let's forget Sasha Banks versus Bayley, and let's just have this instead.
You could still have Sasha Banks versus Bayley, but they shouldn't be wrestling out there. They should have like mud pie matches.
Exactly.
Lingerie pillow fights.
And then, one of them is a massage therapist, and that's her finisher.
Yeah, I like that. It'd be perfect. A Diva search with nothing but women just doing that. I'm so down.
It's a who moans first match.
Oh my God, Kristen, you're a genius. Let me call Vince McMahon. I'm gonna tell him that idea.
Nobody can say I can't get into the spirit.
Oh, this is perfect. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this show was awesome. For all the wrong reasons.
It's like the real life version of anime fan service. That's what this was.
I loved every second of it. So, anything else, ladies and gentlemen?
I got nothing. I'm just sad now.
This pay-per-view drained me.
I don't know how they could do that.
And we still have to do predictions on SummerSlam tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what's his face?
Spaz Phoenix.
That's right.
YouTube.com/SpazPhoenix.
Go subscribe.
And I know he's gonna hear us because he listens to the entirety of the show.
Which he is a valiant warrior for doing such a thing. Salute to you, sir.
He's probably the only one that's made it this far.
Pretty much, because nobody wants to hear me screaming, "This is awesome," off the top of my lungs. But that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes episode 8. We actually didn't really stretch it out that long. I feel you can't see it right now, but do you remember the Shawn Michaels promo in Canada when they're booing and he looks at the camera and he does that hand thing where he's like, "This is gonna be a long tape." That's what I'm doing right now. Long tape. Okay.
They got nothing, man.
Everyone's dead, so...
This was not one of our most energetic videos.
Not even a little bit.
I don't know. I was pretty energetic. Maybe it's because I just love this pay-per-view.
Monoxide stole our enthusiasm.
Exactly. I took...
Or he's just compensating for our lack of.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourselves and each other. Jerry Springer. Goodbye.
Adios, mis amigos.
See ya.